Hey, Adam here with a simple and fast review of the ESFOE brand smartwatch for men. It comes with two different bands. It's built for rugged use. So let's open it up and demonstrate it.
All right, so as we get this open, first things that we'll notice are first, of course, the watch, and then you'll have your instructions. But I want to show you, actually I thought there is two bands. All right, so I just want to clarify, there are two different bands here, looking pretty similar, so I'm not sure that there's any kind of real difference. We'll get a little bit more detailed, but it looks like they're pretty similar in length, so we'll figure that out shortly. And then, of course, please charge before using the smartwatch. So a couple of items to note real quick before we get this charged. First, there's two dials for this, and then of course there's going to be a round watch face as opposed to the square or rectangle. And it does say please peel off before using the smartwatch. So obviously what you're going to have to do is peel this off, one, so that it can measure some like heart rate and stuff like that. Looks like, well, just to be safe, there looks like to be the charging areas. So I would just peel off everything just to make sure that you have full access. And of course, this is your charging cable. So we'll show you that real quick, and those will probably be magnetic. Usually, yep, magnetic. And we'll get this charged up in just a moment here. And one thing that I always do like about the watch bands nowadays is a lot of them are a lot easier. They come with the pins that you can kind of just slide and adjust as needed to put in and out. So it looks like they do come with those. So that's a very nice feature. A couple guarantees and cleaning device. This is, I guess, going to be kind of a screen protection, screen protector, and cleaning cloth. So just go ahead and use those if you feel the need. And of course, your user manual. So this is pretty thick. It looks like there's a couple different QR codes to download apps and whatnot. I'm pretty certain you will need to download an app in order to make sure you to be able to use this device. So I recommend that to start with, but read the manual. However, looks like FitCloud Pro is the app in the App Store that you'll need. So you can scan the QR code or just search for it. And then, of course, read this just so you know exactly how to operate the watch. In the meantime, I'm going to get it charged up. All right, so when you hook it up to get charged, you're going to feel some vibration, and it should show you. This was about 75% charged, so it's looking pretty good as far as that's what you'll see when you start charging it. But while we're talking about this, I want to cover a couple things. First of all, it's a military-grade smartwatch, which means it's going to be shock-proof. Ideally, this is going to be anti-scratch, to be determined, and anti-impact. And can also handle cold and low and high temperatures. It's built really with some pretty rugged materials, but also the actual screen is 1.43 inch AMOLED. It's got the capability of being always on. I'm going to see if I can turn that off because, quite frankly, I don't like to always have it on. But let's talk about some product dimensions. It really is going to be meant, I think it's like meant to go from 240 millimeters to 165 on the actual band, but this is relatively thick, just so you know. It's about 11 millimeters, so it's not the smallest smartwatch by any means. Like, I'm wearing one right now, but that's not any different. So it's going to be about 11 inches, and then of course it's very, there you go, it's charging up again. It's got a very nice battery that I believe on daily usage it gives you 15 days. It says 60 days on low battery mode, but I'm probably going to end up charging this thing once a week at least. And it does say that it's waterproof to 5 atmospheres. Now, I'm probably going to just use it for showers and stuff like that, but I don't know that that's really going to be tested out properly by me, I'll be honest with you. So again, you're going to need to go to FitCloud Pro to to download the app. You're going to want to pair this with your Bluetooth phone, and then of course add the device through there. It should be relatively easy to do, but what it can do most importantly is give you a lot of good tracking data. I'm showing you the back here because you're going to track your heart rate, but it tracks you for walking, running, climbing, badminton, football, elliptical. There's literally tons of stuff. It'll tell you how many calories you're burning, how many kilometers you've walked, how many steps, all that stuff. I think the details are that it's got about 300 different watch faces that you can choose from, 126 sport modes, and 4 different health modes. So we're gonna just leave it with all that information, and then we're gonna test it out now. All right, so let's talk about the actual bands. So as you can see, they're pretty identical. They're not perfectly identical, like the base down here is a little bit different on the two. Are really the only differences that I've seen that are dramatic, and I'm sorry that I'm not getting good lighting. It's kind of hard to get the good lighting here. But they generally look pretty much the same, even down to the bottom here. They're going to be very similar in format, so nothing too different. So there should be a pretty similar comfort level. I'm just going to flip these over so you can see the insides. It looks like it's 22, oops, sorry, tighten that up a little bit. 22 millimeters on the width of that. So if you are trying to buy any other band for this watch, that's kind of where it looks like it's going to be. So again, very similar. I don't think there'll be any difference in feel, so it might be just a little bit in look. So there's that. So it's almost done charging, so I just wanted to kind of show you. We're almost right there. But I wanted to show you a comparison of 2 different styles of watch, size, how it compares size-wise to kind of that squarish, rectangular, and distance total. So this is slightly longer than another comparable watch that I have. But again, it kind of has the same height, if you will, off the ground. So for the most part, seems very comparable. All right, so just want to talk a little bit about how this thing gets used. So first and foremost, we're gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. The top button, what it really is the menu button. So it's just gonna really just take you to your main menu, which is movable. The bottom button is really more meant to turn it on and off, and if you long press it, it'll be a 5-second to turn on and off. That will be your power button essentially. Once it's on, there's a couple different swipes. So if you swipe down, that's going to take you to your main control center, which is going to have your things like Bluetooth, your settings, stuff like that, as well as kind of the basics. If you want to go back to the menu, you're just going to, again, click that button. If you swipe this way, that's going to be your side settings as well. So you can either press the top button or just use a regular swipe for that. If we swipe to the left, that's just going to give us our general functions. It's going to show us kind of what our steps are for the day, things like that. And then of course, if you swipe up from there, you'll see more details. And again, I probably should have demonstrated that first. So let me go back. This will obviously be just kind of when you swipe to the right, it'll just take you to your settings. If you go to your, this will kind of move around and give you some options. But generally speaking, if you swipe up, that's going to be your messages, and you can always scroll through from there. But if you do go to the right, that'll give you kind of a scrolling menu of things like what you did the last 7 days, all this different information. All right, so one other feature that I'd like to mention is the ability to customize your home screen or your watch face with pictures. So I mentioned that you can customize the watch face. So what I'm going to do is show you what the app looks like. And from there, what you're going to want to do is make sure that you bind the device. So you'll just click on device, you'll hit bind, and it will literally just search for the watch at that point. You'll just hit connect. You can then set whether you want it to auto connect the audio or not, but from there you'll just have to press a check mark on the actual watch, and then it should be binded. Now, to customize your dials, you'll have all kinds of different dial selections here, and as mentioned, a lot of different watch faces that you can work with. But the one at the top here, you'll see that it has that edit capability, so we'll just click on that. And as you can see, you can just select your image first, and then you can select the different styles, you can select the different positions. So a couple different capabilities to have some fun with, so that it's not just always regular dials. And you, again, just from there you'd select it and then just push it. So very simple and easy to select your watch faces. As you can see, there's a lot of different customizations that you can make as far as push notifications, weather reports, all that stuff. And the push notifications, wow, there's just, you know, a ton of them. So without sharing what I do too specifically, it will load just about eventually. Every single app that you have in your phone should be available to have a push capability. And then you'll be able to just click on this and it'll give you personal details as far as height, weight, stuff like that. There's FAQs, there's suggestions, and then of course any other settings as far as running in the background, version updates. And so with running in the background, it gives you some capabilities on how to do that properly. And before I leave, just one final note. Every time the watch is turned off or restarted or returned to the factory settings, the call function will be turned off by default. So just be aware of that if your phone starts acting up. There's a whole bunch of information here about setting up, turning on your call audio, stuff like that. So just make sure that you go ahead and adjust that in that phone area. On the phone, it'll be kind of here. So when we swipe down, it'll be that phone. You'll just press that and make sure that you're connected to call audio, media audio, and then you'll be all set up. So hopefully that helps, and thanks for watching.